My name is Leslie Gabe-Swanston. I am the Director of Program and Systems Quality here at the National Summer Learning Association. I'm joined today by my colleagues, Rachel Gwaltney, Director of Policy and Partnerships, Dana Hammond, Manager of Program and Systems Quality, and Ryan Berlin, Director of Events and Sales. We're also pleased to be joined today by Carrie Finkelstein and Bethany Framer, who will share their experience with Summer Learning Day a little later. So before we get started, here's an overview of today's webinar. We're going to start out with an introduction to NSLA. Then we're going to talk about what is Summer Learning Day, and we'll hear some stories of Summer Learning Day in action. Then we're going to introduce some new tools and resources that we have for you, and then we'll hear from you, take your questions and answers in the section there, and then we'll do a little bit of wrap up. So a little bit about NSLA. NSLA is the only national nonprofit exclusively focused on closing the achievement gap through high quality summer learning for all children and youth. Our work centers around three strategic priorities: recognizing and disseminating what works in summer learning, offering expertise and support for programs and communities to strengthen and expand summer learning opportunities, and convening leaders and advocating for summer learning as a solution for equity and excellence in education. Our vision is that all children and youth will have access to high quality summer learning experiences to help them succeed in college, career, and life. Core to our work is the recognition that high quality summer learning works. High-quality summer learning programs have been shown to improve reading and math skills, school attachment, motivation, and relationships with adults and peers. We believe that communities must coordinate the use of resources efficiently and expand access to high-quality summer learning opportunities so that all children can have memorable, enriching summer experiences. So how do we do this? NSLA offers in-depth guides and resources and can provide training for your staff. We provide and offer customized technical assistance, interactive training institutes, workshops, and webinars. We do in-depth collaborative program quality evaluations using our summer learning program quality assessment. We also conduct community assessments, strategic planning, and capacity building for networks, cities, counties, and states. So why do we believe that summer is so important? It's a great time of inequity for young people. During the school year and day, all children have access to public education and the learning resources that come with that. But when schools are closed during the summer, many low-income young people lack access to meals, books, learning resources, and physical activity. We know that the summer months can be a time of learning loss for youth who are not actively engaged in learning opportunities. We have over 100 years of research showing that youth experience losses in math and reading without opportunities to maintain and build those skills over the summer. I think this is intuitive. Intuitively, most of us know this. This is why teachers have to do so much reviewing at the beginning of the school year to hopefully get students back on track to start learning new material. But what is less talked about are the cumulative effects of summer learning loss, the summer slide, as we call it. I won't go into all the research right now, and you can see some of it on some of the facts and data points on the screen right now, but I will point out that more than half of the disparity of ninth grade achievement in reading can be explained by the unequal access to summer learning opportunities. This can have an impact on later achievements, such as high school graduation and secondary education attainment. There's also the impact on health. And there are two sides to the summer health coin. On one side, youth are at an increased risk for weight gain during the summer due to changes from the school year in both physical fitness and eating routines. Minority children can gain weight up to twice as fast during the summer as compared to the school year. On the other side of the coin, many youth experience increased food insecurity in the summer, with only 1 in 6 youth who qualify for free and reduced price meals during the school year actually accessing meals during the summer months. For our older youth, we see that without summer counseling and support, 1/3 of first-generation college attendees experience summer melt and fail to enroll in the fall, even after being accepted. So we know that the summer months can have a critical impact on outcomes for children and youth. So I'll hand things over to my colleague Rachel to talk a little bit about why Summer Learning Day.
That Summer Learning Day is our National Advocacy Day, aimed at elevating the importance of keeping kids learning safe and healthy every summer. So all students are ready to return to school, ready to soar. As I mentioned earlier, one of NSLA's strategic priorities is to advocate for summer learning as a solution for equity and excellence in education. And National Summer Learning Day is our advocacy day aimed at spotlighting and elevating the importance of keeping kids learning safe and healthy over the summer months. This year, Summer Learning Day will officially be celebrated on July 13th, but we encourage you to hold an event anytime during the summer to help celebrate summer and summer learning. Your participation in Summer Learning Day sends a powerful message across the nation that summers matter and offer an opportunity to showcase how summer learning can set young people on the path to success. This year, NSLA has set an ambitious goal to double our outreach and reach 2 million kids in 2,000 Summer Learning Day events across the country, and we are excited to work with all of you to help us get there. Leslie, it's not advancing to the next slide, but if you want to go down to the next slide, we'll show you an infographic with some stats from Summer Learning Day last year. Here we go. So you can see in 2016, communities across the country recorded over 1,000 events and programs on our Summer Learning Day map. Our hashtag KeepKidsLearning reached 11 million users. We had Summer Learning Day proclamations issued by governors in 11 states and by mayors in 7 cities. The media stories on Summer Learning Day resulted in over 48 million impressions. Our message that summer matters was carried on over 850 iHeart radio stations, featuring a PSA voiced by former First Lady Michelle Obama. And our partnership with Clear Channel resulted in billboards featuring summer learning messages on more than 1,000 digital billboards across the country. So hopefully you saw a billboard across the country with our Summer Learning, Keep Kids Learning message. Okay, so now we're going to get some examples of what Summer Learning Day has looked like in action from our 2 featured speakers. After their presentations, we'll have a few minutes for some questions, and then we'll have more time for questions later on after we review the new resources from NSLA for all of you. So if you have questions for the panelists, put them in the chat box. If we have time after their presentations, we'll take a few questions. I'll ask them a couple of questions, and then we'll be able to answer questions also later on. So we're going to start with Carrie Finkelstein. She's the Program Associate for the Baltimore Campaign for Grade Level Reading. She works closely with the Grade Level Reading Program Director to convene a coalition of over 120 stakeholders who share the campaign's focus on Baltimore City children aged 0 through 8 to create a citywide movement to improve reading proficiency. As part of this work, she spearheads the Little Free Library Project to increase neighborhood access to books and community engagement around reading. After Carrie presents, we're going to hear from Bethany Framer. Bethany is currently the Policy and Outreach Coordinator for OregonASK. She started with OregonASK as a VISTA in 2012, supporting local 21st century community learning center programs with financial sustainability planning. And since 2013, she's helped coordinate the Oregon Girls Collaborative Project and has been supporting OregonASK summer learning programmatic and policy work. She was a part of the White Riley Peterson Policy Fellowship in 2015 and 2016 with a focus on summer learning. As part of her work, OregonASK recruited a legislative champion to create a work group on summer learning that has since released a report and put forth legislation to support summer programs. So Carrie's going to give us a local perspective, and then Bethany's going to give us the state level perspective. So I'm going to turn it over to Carrie.
Hi, everyone. I hope everyone's having a good day. So I know that there are a lot of grade level reading communities on the phone, so I'm just going to go through really quickly a little bit about the campaign in Baltimore, and then I'll get into Summer Learning Day. Okay, oop, there we go. So in Baltimore, the Campaign for Grade Level Reading is a coalition of over 120 public agencies, funders, and nonprofit organizations, all who aim to ensure that all Baltimore City public school students are reading well by the end of 3rd grade, because we know that that's when the swap happens between when kids are learning to read and reading to learn. So in Baltimore, we have 3 anchors that we really look for to make sure that we're fulfilling our goal. The first is literacy-rich environments. And so this is where we want to make sure that all children have access to quality books that represent the diversity of the children in Baltimore. A literacy-rich environment necessitates that children have multiple avenues to get books. So this includes books at home, in the community, in school, and in public spaces, and that's really where the little free libraries come in, and I'll talk more about that in a second. The second anchor is prepared and informed adults. So we really think it's important that all the adults, including parents and caregivers, child care providers, teachers, and out-of-school time providers, have the knowledge they need to deliver key literacy skills to students and to their children. And then finally, we focus on access to high-quality resources and opportunities. This meaning that all parents and caregivers have access to the resources and programming that they need, and that they have the knowledge of the literacy milestones and to really get their child to where they need to be by 3rd grade. So a little bit about our Little Free Libraries in general. So the Little Free Library started with a campaign last summer, but this is part of a national movement, and I'm sure many of you are familiar with Little Free Libraries, but in case you're not, there's a picture here to demonstrate what they are, and they're basically just freestanding structures that you put up so that people can come at any time to take or leave a book. In Baltimore, we really focused on putting Little Free Libraries in areas that had low access to books, so places where we knew that libraries were not close, and we knew that there were a lot of families without a lot of books in their home. This project is a partnership between Grade Level Reading and Habitat for Humanity of the Chesapeake, who built all the Little Free Libraries for us at cost. Right now we have 37 Little Free Libraries in Baltimore, and they're each led by a community leader, ranging from principals to barbershop owners to people who work in housing across the city, to churches. And based on a survey that we sent out recently, we know that we've given out almost 24,000 books in total this year, and that Little Free Libraries give out about 50 books a week, which is really exciting. And we have a partnership with the Maryland Book Bank, which is a place in Baltimore where people can go to get free books, and so our Little Free Libraries use that in order to get books to their community. So last summer, we were really looking for a way to introduce these Little Free Libraries to the community, and so we thought there was no better way to do that than on National Summer Learning Day, because we thought it was a great way to talk about how reading 20 minutes a day and having access to books really can help fight summer learning loss. So what we did was we had a big launch party for the event at Lexington Market. I don't know how many of you are familiar with Baltimore, but Lexington Market is an iconic market in Baltimore where people go every day to eat and hang out, and they were one of the recipients of our Little Free Libraries. And so this event was a partnership, again, between Habitat for Humanity of the Chesapeake, Lexington Market, and of course the National Summer Learning Association. And we had almost 50 people come, ranging from community and business leaders to many students who were taking part in summer camps came, and we also were able to attract people who were just hanging out in the market to come join us. We had food, speakers, fun activities for the kids. They all got lays and were able to color, and the most exciting thing was that all of the kids left with a book. And then these are just some pictures of the event to show what happened, and it was a really great time. So I think I'm going to hand it over to Bethany now.
All right, can you guys all hear me? I'm assuming yes, because I'm unmuted and I have control of the screen now. So I will start by saying thank you, NSLA, for giving us this opportunity to share about Oregon. And I apologize, I did not do an introduction slide on OregonASK, but for those of you who are not aware, we are the statewide after-school network in Oregon. So we're a collaboration of nonprofit and agency partners who have a mission to advocate and support after-school, summer, any out-of-school time program across the state to help expand access and ensure quality opportunities. So a little bit of our work, we have 3 initiatives, and one of those is summer learning. So for the last several years, we've really been trying to dive deep and help Oregon approach the growing achievement gap and what we can do to support summer learning for all students. So back in 2012, we started with some programmatic support. So we started a small pilot. We partnered with NSLA, our state library, our food, Oregon Department of Education Child Nutrition, so looking for summer food sites, and created this summer learning, summer library, summer lunch, where all of the youth within the community could come to the free food site and access books, whether it was in their school library or free books that they could take home. So we started this several years ago. We really wanted to, from the ground level, try and increase access to resources, but also build awareness about the importance of summer learning. And as mentioned, reading really helps students bypass the summer slide that's inevitable for many who don't have access. So this was just an opportunity for us to not only build some community level support, but also, like we said, increase access at some really key areas across the state. And since then, we've grown it from our 4 pilot sites to over 20 schools across Oregon that are participating. So next, we'll look at, this last summer, we worked on our summer learning. We worked with a local organization, so a children's museum in Salem, which is our state capital. They have every year community days where they have free admission anyways. And so that was a great opportunity for us to highlight summer learning. We put together a block party. So, we were able to find some local partners to sponsor it. We brought in summer learning. I apologize if you guys are hearing the background noise. We brought in all of the partners who had summer learning opportunities. So it was an opportunity to bring in parents and youth to say, here's what's going on, here's why we want to make sure that you're engaged this summer. We brought in our legislative champions and had kind of a kickoff ceremony. And we really wanted to focus on it being an atmosphere where there was fun, and we were talking about not summer school as a lot of adults think about it, but the summer learning that we all know is what helps keep kids engaged and learning throughout the year. So it was really key for us to find a local organization to help kind of sponsor and pull together the event. And then we were able to use some of our state contacts to bring in, other opportunities and resources. Oops, sorry, I skipped ahead. So last year we also, what I didn't say was our block party didn't happen on National Summer Learning Day. We wanted it to actually be a little bit earlier, and so we did it right at the start of summer. And then on National Summer Learning Day, we tried to do a bigger awareness campaign. So we tried to get some program visits happening, and then share that information out with not only program providers, but with other media outlets. And so we were lucky enough, we were in a slightly different climate nationally. So we had White House officials actually that were out in Oregon at that time, and they had a big push to be involved and highlight summer learning. And so we actually hosted a White House official at a local program called Centro Cultural, and she was able to come and talk with youth and community members, and they actually put out a really great information highlighting that this was National Summer Learning Day. And then we were able to share, a highlight out with the communities, with our state network, that this was, a really great opportunity to showcase what out-of-school programs are doing. And how they look different within each community. So besides the White House officials, we also targeted other champions, legislators. We had our Senator Wyden stop by programs when he was back in Oregon. And so it was just an opportunity for us to show off all of the great summer programs that are happening. And we tried to emphasize that by, we share out information to our 4,000 plus network with our monthly newsletter, but also highlighting what programs are happening, what they're doing in Oregon. So trying just to share out all of the great work and emphasize what we're doing here. So with that, I think I will pass it on for questions.
Okay, so we have just a couple of minutes to take a couple questions here. I will start by asking Carrie and Bethany, what kinds of resources, whether it was funding or person power or in-kind resources, were the most important for helping you make your Summer Learning Day event successful?
This is Carrie. I would say that we worked really closely with Lexington Market, and we got to use their space, and they donated food. And then also we were able to secure free books thanks to a donation from Scholastic that was given to us through the National Summer Learning Association. And so that was also great. And I think that it just really took a group effort, and we blasted it out through social media to try and get people there. And we also partnered with some camps in the city to make sure that kids were able to attend and be there.
And I would say that our local partnership with the Children's Museum was crucial. So they offered the space, free admission. They had volunteers there to staff the day. And then we also had several sponsors that made it fiscally capable. So we had a couple of banks and New York Life that sponsored the event and actually provided some of their own materials. They brought their ice cream truck. So those were our key resources.
Great. So a second question, say more about, did you have like a social media component to your events, and sort of what pieces of social media engagement did you use?
This is Carrie. So we use social media ads pretty infrequently to kind of try and get people out to events. So we did a social media ad on Facebook, and those are pretty inexpensive to reach a lot of people. And so I did see some people on the day of the event who said that they came because they saw it on Facebook. We also used Facebook to talk about what was happening at the event, and we also pushed out things from the event on Twitter and on Instagram as well.
And in Oregon, we did not have a super strong social media campaign associated with our block party or summer learning, but we did use our Facebook and Twitter, and then all of the partners. I know there were several people who mentioned that they saw it on the Children's Museum website, and one of our local Salem Kaiser Education Foundation, they used their social media campaign or network. So it was mostly just several posts in the weeks before, and then a lot of pictures the day of from all of the people who were present that kind of helped draw some other media attention as well.
Great. All right, I'm going to ask one more question before we move on. So what is the top piece of advice that you have for the folks who are listening in who are planning Summer Learning Day events?
I guess I would say to start early. I think that we didn't know that we were going to do this for certain until about 2 weeks out. And so I think that we would have had an easier time if we'd started planning a little bit sooner.
I will definitely ditto that. Our planning for our block party started about the last week of May last year. So earlier definitely helps. And also finding people who are already invested or have something to gain as well as give was crucial for us, finding a community partner who was able to help us on the ground and use their own network as well as ours to capitalize on.
All right, great, thanks. Those are great information from both of you, and I'm gonna turn it back over to Leslie at this point.
Thank you, Rachel. So what I'm going to do now, what I think we'll do now is just look at some of the new resources that we have on our website for you leading up to Summer Learning Day. So you should be looking at a screen capture of our website right now and our Summer Learning Day tab on our website. New this year, it's our summer event tracker. So if you've participated in Summer Learning Day in the past with us, you'll remember our old map. We have done away with it this year, and we're unveiling this new event tracker. It's up and live right now, so we encourage you to add your events and summer programs as well. So you'll see, I think you guys are going to really like it. You're going to be able to sort by dates, location, affiliation. So some of our affiliated groups like Boys and Girls Club, libraries, Campaign for Grade Level Reading, United Way, our YMCAs, you'll be able to sort and see those particular events. You'll be able to choose your focus area for your event or program that you're looking for. So looking at if it's focusing on arts, literacy, sports and health, STEM, or summer meals. You'll also be able to select by age, from preschool and younger all the way up to entering college. And we also have a keyword search function. So we think that's going to be really helpful for you guys. It updates automatically. Like I said, you'll be able to find events in your area, and also people will be able to find you. So we get a lot of parents asking for programs in their area, or people from the media looking to do a story on a local summer event. So this is a great way for them to find to be able to find and contact you. So this section of the Summer Learning Day tab, you'll see our resources. And so I'm going to point out some of the new resources that we have on our website. We have lots of tip sheets. Here are just a few of them. Some top 10 easy summer learning tips for parents, and 10 tips to help you plan for summer learning, tips to keep tweens and teens learning, and tips to keep kids active and healthy. So this is in the family resources section of our website under Summer Learning Day. We also have some other resources here. There are other great resources to support learning this summer for students in your program. From our Summer Matters book by our founder and interim CEO, Matthew Blay. We also NSLA has partnered with Carson DeLosa to share the award-winning Summer Bridge workbooks that help keep kids' skills sharp with just 15 minutes a day. Just a reminder, if you have questions as we're going along, be sure to type those in the Q&A box and we will answer them in a little bit. Moving along with some of the other resources that we have on our resources for family section. We have free printouts that were made also in collaboration with Carson DeLosa Publishing. So we have some awards that you can print out, bookmarks, and coloring worksheets. This one's really cool. This is something we developed by Learning Heroes in collaboration with NSLA. It's called the Summer Stride. It's designed to help parents use the summer break to look at the big picture of how preparing their child for the next grade. So all the Summer Stride campaign resources are available in English and Spanish and can be found at bealearninghero.org. This includes the parent comic and that you see on the screen to help engage families in a fun and informative way. A new big picture checklist to help parents track their child's progress. Examples and tips on how to spark the love of learning during the summer, and easy to use resources including videos, activities, and more to help support learning at home. Moving on to the outreach resources for communities on our website, you'll see some other resources for planning in your community. We have 10 tips for celebrating Summer Learning Day to help you plan your celebration. We have governor and mayor proclamation templates that you can use. The one that you see on the screen right now on the right is from the state of Virginia last year and their governor. Some more resources for families. Heading over to summerlearning.org/family, you'll see some of our digital summer resources from Khan Academy, MyOn, Open eBooks, PBS Kids, and Everfi. The one at the bottom here you'll see is Everfi's Summer Slugger program that was developed in partnership with Major League Baseball. This is an 18-week digital program targeted at 4th and 5th graders, and the program unlocks activities at a regular interval during the summer and offers rewards for progress and consistency along the way. So students can engage with content that reinforces key foundational and procedural skills while enjoying the freedom and motivation of a baseball-themed game-based learning experience. Topics that are included are geometry, spelling, vocabulary, and much more. You can also find outreach resources for your community. We mentioned earlier we are continuing our partnership with Clear Channel Digital. They'll be supporting our summer learning with billboards across the country. This is also our second year partnering with iHeartMedia to provide public service announcements. So listen out for those. And if you see one of the billboards in your community, please let us know. We're not able to get out and see all of them in action, so we'd love for you to take a picture and share it with us on social media. We also have, as I mentioned earlier, our social media toolkit with Learning Heroes. Now stay tuned for more resources that will be coming out, such as our Summer Learning Day talking points, localized radio PSA copy, and template press releases. Here's just a few more resources that you'll see on our website that are up now or coming soon. We are putting together with Chicago Public Library an official summer reading list. We have, as I mentioned before, there are 10 tips for celebrating Summer Learning Day, dozens of research briefs if you're looking for the research to help support your summer learning message, and some of the resources that we've developed in partnership with Scholastic and the Scholastic Summer Reading Challenge. I'll mention another event that we're going to have coming up. For the first time, NSLA is hosting a national art and essay contest on why summer learning is important. So we want to hear and see the creativity of our young people and to share their voices during this season of learning. So look out for contest guidelines in June. So I'm going to pause now and see if we have any questions from our audience about any of the resources that we've presented. If you have any questions for our presenters, or if you just want to share what your plans for Summer Learning Day. If you want us to type your questions into the Q&A box so we can see those. So we had a question about the last slide in our art and essay contest. So the contest will open June 30th and run through August 1st. For those of you who are wondering, this webinar is being recorded, so we'll make a link to the recording. We'll send a link to the recording after the webinar. We'll also make the PowerPoints available.
Okay, we have a question. Are we able to co-brand some of the materials?
So to answer that question, it depends on which ones. If you're interested in that, if you contact us directly, we can discuss that with you.
We have another question. Thank you, Mary, for that question. We have another question from Barbara. How do we get a proclamation for Summer Learning Day?
So the copy is available on our website, a template that you can use.
We have another question by Teresa. Were the little libraries built at the kickoff events, or are they prefabricated? And I think one of our panelists may be able to answer that.
Yeah, Carrie, I think this is a question for you.
Yeah, hi. So we didn't build the little free libraries at the kickoff events, but what we did do was we partnered with a local artist who painted, who worked with all the communities to decide what they wanted their little free library to look like, and then he painted based on that. But I think that it would be really cool to have an event where you built little free libraries. I think you can order little free library kits on the National Little Free Library website. Or I think there are instructions online about how to build them. As I said before, we worked with Habitat for Humanity of the Chesapeake to build ours, so they built the actual structures, and then we worked with a painter to design them, and then the communities installed them.
Thank you, Carrie. Okay, we have another question by Patricia. To submit an entry for the art and essay contest, is there a link on the NSLA website?
So the link is not up right now, but it will be, and we will let you know when the link is up and when the contest guidelines are out.
We have another question by Flamin. As far as the contest, can we go ahead and advertise the contest even though the entire details are not out yet?
Yes, you can definitely do that.
Okay, Joanna, to get a proclamation, you can also send an email to request to your civil representatives, mayors, senators, council members. Tell them the details of your program, invite them to attend, and for a proclamation from their office. They will send it to you. And thank you very much for that, Joanna. Okay, so another question about the little libraries from Barbara. Who maintains the little free libraries, and where do the books come from? That's a question for you, Carrie.
Yeah, so I think it's probably different community to community. As I said, little free libraries are part of a national movement. So for the grade level reading little free libraries in Baltimore, we have an application process where we ask communities to apply for a little free library, and they name a point person, and that point person is responsible for maintaining the little free library, raising awareness of it, and getting books. Our little free library leaders do different things to get books. Some of them host book drives, others go to a resource in Baltimore called the Maryland Book Bank, where they can get 250 free books a month, and they use those to stock their little free libraries. But what we do know is that the books go really quickly, and so it is hard to keep them stocked. So we're always looking for other ways to make sure that communities have access to good quality and culturally relevant books.
Then, how can we recreate the summer library, summer lunch model if you live in a large city?
Okay. So I think you're referring to the lunch at the library model that has started out in California. We can definitely include some some links to lunch at the library and more information about how you can start that in your community with these follow-up materials to this webinar.
I have another question from Susie Harris. Because National Summer Learning Day happens late for Alabama, they want to know how do they have any suggestions for how to celebrate the day virtually?
So first about the actual date, yeah, we get a lot of questions about why it's mid-July. We kind of settle on it. Sometimes it's too early for some people, for some communities and states, and too late for some communities and states. But like I think we mentioned earlier, we encourage you to celebrate anytime during summer and hold your event whenever it's best for you. So definitely, we've had communities in the past have their Summer Learning Day event be exclusively on social media, which is a really great way to get the word out to a lot of people. So we really encourage that. We have a social media toolkit on our website that you can use for that.
And we have an example from one of our panelists about how they celebrate Summer Learning Day, and they encourage programs to send photos of their PJ reading parties, and then we'll send them a free set of books for programs who send us their photos, and then they also ask the community leaders to come and read to the kids in their pajamas, and both the leaders and the kids are all in PJs. So that's just a great example of what you can do for Summer Learning Day. There's another question. Can you use previous year's proclamations, or do you have to use a new proclamation every year?
I think it's best to try to do a new one each year.
We update, I answered the question in the chat, and we update that text every year to reflect the current year's Summer Learning Day date. But people can adjust the text in the proclamation to make it relevant to your community or your state, however you need to. And the way to do that is typically to go to your governor or mayor's official website and look for a link that says request a proclamation. Usually you can submit text to them directly that way, or request their attendance at an event, something like that.
So we have a comment from the audience, just an FYI, Summer Matters will be hosting a Twitter town hall to kick off National Summer Learning Day. It will be on June 29th at 11 a.m. So I want to let you know about that. You can follow them on Twitter at Summer Matters 2U. That's the number 2 and then the letter U. And it's a great chance to highlight the cool things that you are doing for National Summer Learning Day. So thank you for that, Ezra. I think we're going to take 1 or 2 more questions.
Okay, so the last question is, for the family resources, are those provided upon request, or do we print them ourselves?
So they are up on the website and you can print them yourself. So we have a final question about celebrating Summer Learning Day with other sites. Yeah, that's always a great way to bring more awareness. I think a bigger event with and attracting press and officials to it is a great way to do that if you're able to. So reach out to other organizations in your community that you know of that might be interested in joining you in celebrating Summer Learning Day. So we're going to wrap up here. We're coming through the section that I like to call our shout-outs. We have a number of different groups, people from different groups joining us today. So a big hello to everybody joining us from the Campaign for Grade Level Reading. The campaign is a collaborative effort by foundations, nonprofit partners, business leaders, government agencies, states, and communities across the nation to ensure that more children in low-income families succeed in school and graduate prepared for college, a career, and active citizenship. The campaign focuses on an important predictor of school success in high school graduation, which is grade level reading by the end of 3rd grade. NSLA has been an implementation partner with the campaign for the past several years, and we are pleased to have members from the over 300 communities in 42 states participating in Summer Learning Day each year. We're also excited to see all of our grade level reading communities in Denver in a few weeks for GLR Week. The week will start out with a funder huddle where attendees will have an opportunity to meet other local, state, and national funders that support early literacy in the grade level reading community, share challenges and success, and learn from each other. The second half of the week, we'll see hundreds of civic and community leaders, public officials, educators from across the country come together for the 2017 All-America City Awards, America's oldest and most prestigious community recognition. Each year, the All-America City Awards are given to communities that exemplify outstanding civic accomplishments. This year, the National Civic League and the Campaign for Grade Level Reading will recognize communities that have made measurable progress for low-income children on the key drivers of early reading success. So if you haven't registered for that yet, I encourage you to do that very soon. And also for our grade level reading communities, I'd like to mention one of our other partners with the campaign, Attendance Works, is having a webinar next week. Attendance Works is a national and state level initiative that promotes awareness of the important role that school plays in achieving academic success. So after the summer ends, Attendance Awareness Month is in September. As I mentioned, they're having a webinar next week on Tuesday entitled, "It Takes Two, Adding Early Intervention Strategies to Address Chronic Absence."
NSLA Common Grounds Affinity Groups is an initiative, an important intersection of our program and systems quality work. It is a way for us to disseminate and generate awareness about key issues relevant to summer learning providers and stakeholders based on high interest content areas. These affinity groups aim to connect like-minded peers around the common goal of creating smarter summers and brighter futures for all youth. NSLA's goal is that peers begin to lead these groups to share their experiences in the field as a rich resource to inform innovative ways to implement strategies that enhance the quality of all programs serving all youth. Currently, we have 4 Common Grounds affinity groups, one for middle grades and older youth, another for early literacy groups, one for systems building. This one is specifically for communities that are interested in cross-sector community-wide planning designed to build a stronger summer learning ecosystem with more services and programs for all of their youth during the summer. We also have a public policy group, Powering Through Public Policy, where members of this group are able to stay up to date on the latest federal and state policy activities, actions alerts, and wins affecting summer opportunities. Group members also share policy issues emerging in their state and local community and get ideas, tools, and resources to help improve the policy landscape for summer learning and other summer opportunities. We encourage all of you to join one of our Common Grounds affinity groups. On the slide, you can see where you can go to our website, /common-grounds, and you can join one of our affinity groups. Thank you.
I'd also like to say hello to our library folks joining us today. Some of you know about the partnership that NSLA has had with the Urban Libraries Council for the past 2 years. Together, we've been exploring ways that more and more libraries are integrating models of summer learning into their traditional summer reading initiatives. What you see on the left is one of the products of this partnership. It's called Libraries at the Center of Summer Learning and Fun. It's a toolkit with examples and resources for how libraries have been able to do this. NSLA has been pleased to highlight the role that libraries play as a space for equity, access, and learning during the summer months. Later this month, we will have a webinar featuring Liz McChesney from the Chicago Public Libraries that will highlight the importance of libraries in summer and promoting summer learning and building partnerships between libraries and other community agencies. Some of the other things that we have coming up, we have been reviewing programs for the New York Life Foundation Excellence in Summer Learning Award and Founders Award. This is our 13th year recognizing outstanding summer programs or models that demonstrate excellence in accelerating academic achievement and promoting healthy development. So we'll be announcing those winners soon. Finally, I'd like to mention that our national conference this year will be in Phoenix, Arizona, October 23rd through the 25th. Registration is up on our website right now, and early bird registration ends May 31st. So make sure that you register soon. Finally, a thank you to our Summer Learning Day corporate and media sponsors, Best Buy, Geek Squad, Everify, iHeartRadio, Carson DeLosa, and Scholastic. So be sure to follow us on Twitter and Facebook, and so you receive the latest announcements when new resources are coming out and events are happening. Thank you, everyone, and look out for the follow-up materials from this website, from this webinar.